This broadcast on the JED TV Sports Network is brought to you by Central Midwest Carpenters. Build your next chapter. Domino's. Get the door. It's Domino's. Popa Heating and Cooling. Stay comfortable year-round. Powers Health. Everything we do, everything we believe. Strachan Van Til. Indiana made. Liuna. Feel the power. And Westland & Bennett, goal-oriented legal solutions you can trust.
Good evening as we welcome you inside the Strachan Van Til broadcast booth at beautiful Hanover Central High School. Tonight, the Hanover Central Wildcats welcome one of the state's biggest powerhouse football programs to the region as the Class 4A number 1 ranked Indianapolis Chatard Trojans are in Cedar Lake to take on the Hanover Central Wildcats. Alongside my partner Isaiah Gransberry, my name is Tim Fedler. Chatard has won 4 state championships in the last 6 years. Last year they moved up to 4A and advanced to the regionals, where they lost to eventual state champion New Palestine. Hanover's in for a tough task here today, taking on the number 1 ranked team in the state. Isaiah, what do you expect to see out of the Chatard team?
Chatard is ready to go. As you mentioned, they have a history of great football success, and it's year after year. So they don't necessarily rebuild, they reload. They got a lot of guys back from the team last year with the star running back, Daniel Adams. And so you hit it right on the head. Hanover's going to have their hands full today, but I think they're up for the task as well.
Hanover Central is replacing their starting quarterback and one of the best running backs in the region, if not the state. Gone are Tommy Bonner and Caden Ferret, and in steps Jeff Resney and Dominic Giglio. Defensively, they return outstanding linebacker Lincoln Zerby, and then a change at head coach as Tony Bartolomeo steps in, taking over for Brian Parker. Hanover has been one of the most successful regular season teams over the last 5 years, but was only able to take home 1 sectional championship in that reign. Isaiah, a big challenge today, as you alluded, going up against a very difficult running attack for Chatard. How does Hanover try to contain Daniel Adams and that great running attack of Chatard?
Well, Hanover does have an advantage having to practice against their own great running back last year. So a lot of these guys stepping into new roles this year as Hanover restructures a little bit, but not too much because Bartolomeo has been around. They're going to be prepared. It's just a matter of how long can they be prepared. As you can see on the screen or earlier in the game, Chatard, they have a lot of numbers. So it might come down to depth at the end of the day. And so as long as these guys limit their time where running around and wasting a lot of energy, they should be in good shape.
The opening coin toss, or at least a ceremonial coin toss, is going on the field right now. The actual coin toss takes place well before this moment here. The officials will indicate for us here briefly who won the toss and who will be kicking off here today as he's going over a few of the basic rules, talking about sportsmanship, making sure everyone is ready to go here today. And now we'll get the indication. Chatard won the toss and they elected to defer. So Hanover Central will return to start the ball game.
Bishop Chatard has won the coin toss, and they have chosen to defer.
And it is a beautiful night for football here today. We are in for a treat.
Indianapolis Chatard Trojans are coached by Rob Doyle, 87 in 93, in his 9th year at the school. And you just take a look at the recent success here, going back to 2017. Sectional champions, won the regional the following year in 19-1 state, 21 state. And then after, I guess, a down year in 21 when they didn't get out of the sectional, state champs. And then last year losing to the eventual state champion New Palestine after moving up to Class 4A. 17 state championships in the history of Indianapolis Chatard. And if they make it to Lucas Oil Stadium, they usually win an amazing 17-1 record in the state finals. You know, that's just incredible, not only to get there, but when they're there, they finish business.
Yes, and you talk about some of Indiana's greatest football programs. They are definitely solidified in the top 5 for sure. I mean, you think about schools in Indy that they have to compete with for that status, Warren Central, Roncalli, and whatnot. And so to say that they can get there and compete, not only compete there, but dominate there in most years is pretty impressive in itself.
In a lot of those sectionals in Indianapolis, sometimes the sectional is the hardest challenge for them, as Pedro Galando sends this one deep, and it will be caught at the 2-yard line. And a brief return out to the 17 for Hanover Central. So that's right where they will start. And we're going to see this new look offense in week 2. They struggled a week ago. Did Hanover Central against Michigan City, losing 31-0. Weren't able to finish off drives, and committing turnovers was a big problem last week. Jeffrey Resney, 5 of 7 for 78 yards last week, so he was efficient, but just they weren't able to put up much offensively. And the handoff goes up the middle. I believe that's going to be Giglio for a short gain.
Hanover sticking to their identity early, starting off the game with a run. As we mentioned last year, Caden Verrett, he ran all over defenses all across Northwest Indiana and the state as well. And so it's good to see that they're staying true to their colors.
I beg your pardon, that was Boykema on the last carry. Resney rolling outside the pocket, fires it toward the sideline, and that pass is complete and going to be tackled very close to a first down, but with the official killing it over there, all indications are that will be a first down Hanover Central. I believe that pass was completed to number 1, Lucas Velisca. First down
for your
Hanover Central.
Wildcats.
Resney with Boykema in the backfield. Boykema, very patient run up the middle, picks up about 2.
That's great patience. He let the hold develop, and that allowed him to get a couple extra yards. Many offensive coordinators say that their goal is to get 3 yards on a run play, and if you could do that, you're in pretty good shape on offense.
No huddle offense for the Wildcats in this one. Resney coming out into the flat. Pass is complete. Trying to get the corner, but being dragged down from behind is Vinny Bonato. He had 5 catches a week ago.
Great job by the young man catching the ball, as you can see right there, and not letting one guy bring him down. It took 4 Chatard defenders to get that young man down, so great job. Way to stay in the weight room.
Good job here by Hanover Central. Moving the ball on this first drive, already picking up 1 first down, and now they got 3rd and reasonable here. It's going to be 3rd and 3. Boykema breaks a couple tackles up the middle and falls forward for a Hanover first down.
Great job right there. I mean, I think they kind of caught Chatard off guard. As you see, their middle linebacker went out to cover the pass coverage, and that opened up an opportunity for Hanover Central to get that run right up the middle for the Indiana Northwest first down.
First and 10 on the 38-yard line. Boykema resets to the left of Resney. Resney's going to roll out of the pocket here. Fires in the dangerous territory. About 3 Chatard defenders out there in the range of Bonato. Noah Stornetta, amongst others in coverage. So that's really the first time so far they have not picked up any yards on first down to put them here in a second and long situation. See if they go back on the ground to try to make this a third and reasonable. And they do. Boykmo straight up the middle, and tell you what, Isaiah, he doesn't go down on first contact. He does a good job of dragging a few defenders.
He does not. And we mentioned, I mean, the running game for Hanover Central has always been there for really the last 5 to 6 years, and they are not cutting anything short right now. Those guys are strong, those guys are patient, and those guys are ready to make a play.
Very similar formations on every play for Hanover Central. They're changing whether they go trips left or trips right. Here it's going to be trips to the left, single receiver down here near us. Resney trying to hit the slant. It's going to be deflected in the air and intercepted. And in space goes to the Chatard linebacker, number 40. And we called his name already today, Noah Stornetta, with the big interception. And really, that's just bad luck there, trying to hit the quick slant, and the pass gets deflected up in the air. Yep. And Stornetta is able to take that one down inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but great heads-up job by Zanetta right there on defense, being able to take advantage of the tip drill, they call it, and get a nice return after.
So now we're going to get our first look at the Chatard Trojans offense. It's going to be Harrington from the shotgun formation, but expect to see a lot of number 4, Daniel Adams. And there goes Adams right up the middle. Drags one tackler with him, and does he fall forward into the end zone? No, he's going to be tackled just short at the 1-yard line.
Candy Adams on the carry, stopped at the 1.
32 carries a week ago for Adams for 201 yards. Got in the end zone 3 times. Harrington did throw it 15 times, completed 10 for 86 yards, 2 touchdowns himself. And it's going to be Adams behind that big offensive line, and he gets into the end zone for the first score of the ball game. In touchdown, Chatard. That touchdown and every touchdown is brought to you by Westland and Bennett. When it's time to finish the drive, make the right call. And that turnover comes back to bite Hanover Central. Pedro Galando on to attempt the extra point. He made all 5 of his PATs a week ago. Harrison Odom to hold. Long snapper Sam Berzai. And the kick is up, and it is through. 7:59 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Chatard.
Towers Health is committed to advancing medical care and technology in our area. Cancer research and clinical trials, so you can explore new horizons. Heart care expertise with a collaborative team of specialists, so you can create more memories together. Northwest Indiana's only certified comprehensive stroke center, so you can cover new ground. When it comes to advanced care, look no further. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
Get ready, Region. It's time to Wing and Roll 2025. Friday, September 5th at Bulldog Park in Crown Point. Mental Health America of Northwest Indiana brings you the biggest, boldest fundraiser of the year. Taste wings from the region's best chefs. Jam to live music from Backstory NWI. Play games, win prizes, and cast your vote for the best wings in Northwest Indiana. And this year, we're going back to the 80s. So throw on your leg warmers and get ready to party. Tickets sold out last year, so don't wait. Grab yours today and join us for Wing and Roll 2025.
Back high above the field in the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth, the region's local grocer. And tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by USW Local 71, proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery, feeling the region. Touchback will bring the ball out to the 20-yard line, and that's where Hanover Central will begin drive number 2. And Isaiah, they move the ball a little bit on that first drive, but just got to stay away from the turnovers.
Yes, and that was a very unfortunate turnover right there. You know, a tip drill is like one of those that are preventable. You know, the coach always says, if a ball hits your hand, you got to catch it, and that's basically what happened right there. But Hanover Central, as you mentioned, great job moving the ball down the field, getting a couple first downs to get the nervousness out of their system, and they can move the ball against this team. So we'll see if they could capitalize on that this drive.
So Hanover has it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Give up the middle and brought down for no gain. I believe that's Dominic Giglio.
Got to give a salute to Blake Belcher right there. Big old lineman right making a pancake.
Second down and 9. Hanover just trying to stay ahead of the chains here. Try and keep the clock moving. Quick toss out to Giglio. He tries to make a couple guys miss, but he's eventually brought down by a host of Chatard Trojans. Anthony Hoekstra in there, amongst others.
Couldn't really get around that corner right there, but great job by Chatard just rallying to the football. You see a lot of white jerseys surrounding that ball carrier right there.
3rd down and 9. Trips to the left. Resney's going to roll out of the pocket. He's just going to throw this one away as he was under a lot of pressure by Hoekstra. Quick 3 and out. Hanover will have to punt.
Great zone coverage right there by Chatard. They did a good job in just making their presence felt. And so they could not, Hanover could not execute on that rollout play because of that.
Danny Adams back deep to receive the punt for the Trojans. Punt's going to be delivered by it's going to be Micah Van Tolen to punt for Hanover Central. Patrick Belby punts for Chatard. And it's going to be a short one. It's going to go out of bounds. May have been deflected. It's actually a Ben Boswell. Jacob Furkel punt. I'll get it right eventually. Punt for Hanover Central. Either way, it's a short punt. Chatard's going to take over in great field position.
Ben Baswell with the punts.
And it was Baswell. Beg your pardon. So 1st and 10, Chatard on the 35-yard line. Adams standing alongside Harrington. And that big offensive line for Chatard. Adams is going to fake to him. Harrington's going to roll out and complete the pass to big number 88, Julio Graves. He had 7 catches a week ago for 48 yards and a TD.
Great rollout right there. Julio had a lot of space to make that play and even turn up the field if he wanted to, but just take the safe 5 yards on that play.
Tonight's broadcast is also brought to you in part by Roofers Local 26, keeping Northwest Indiana dry for over 100 years. Fake to Adams. Harrington's going to keep it. And he's going to lose his footing and fall down about the 22-yard line. If he keeps his footing, he might be in the end zone right now.
Yes, that was a hole as wide as the Red Sea. Just got to keep your footing, young fella, but good job, nevertheless, to fall forward, get the first down.
Boy, when you have a running back as talented as Adams, you see how Hanover's keying in on him, and Chatard's using that to their advantage. Those last 2 fakes to him, and he's drawn a lot of attention. Twins to the right. Harrington looking near side. Pass is complete by Graves. Nice tackle made by Furco.
Graves with the reception.
Looks like a possession receiver, and that's what I'm going to refer to him as the rest of his game. I mean, he looks just calm and collective and ready to make a play. Great job by Julio.
5'11", 175. He looks a little bigger than that. Second down and 5. Adams stutter steps to the right and falls forward for a Trojan first down. Once again, just running behind that massive offensive line for Chatard.
Danny Adams.
Yep, and with an offensive line like that, it's easy to be patient. I mean, the offensive line was working, cooking dinner, getting the table ready, and he's just getting ready to eat. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that in this drive.
You see Yandin Falik, 6'4", 275, playing over there, right tackle. Adams stutter stepping again, and he falls forward for a gain of about 4.
Adams again on the carry. Corey pick up 4 yards.
Bring up second down and 6. Levi Jesse goes 6'3", 250, playing over on the left side. Adams keeps it again and just kind of gets low and falls forward.
Adams again with the carry for Bishop Chatard.
Chatard just keeps the sticks moving forward. But a pretty good job there on Hanover Central to swarm his way, keep him out of the end zone.
Yeah, it's a great job by Hanover Central. Not backing off too much, but definitely rallying to the ball, getting the young fella down.
Third down and 4. What may be 4-down territory for Chatard. Why not go back with Adams, and he somehow skirts his way through into the end zone for the touchdown. And it's another 6 on the board, and another reminder when the pressure's on, call Westland and Bennett. And Isaiah, I thought Hanover had him there about the line of scrimmage, and somehow little Adams goes 5'5", and that can make him hard to tackle as he's able to slither his way in.
As we just saw in the replay right there, he's like a magician. He found the hole, he waited for a second, and then the Hanover Central defender just went straight for the strip, and that allowed him to spin right into the end zone.
Galando knocks through the extra point, and after 2 drives, it's 2 scores for Chatard. They lead at 14-0.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Plumbers Local 210 is building the future, and we're looking for service plumbers to join our team. Our training center invests nearly $500,000 every year to make sure our members are the best in the industry. From a 5-year apprenticeship and an associate degree at Ivy Tech to ongoing certifications in safety and new technology, our plumbers are trained for excellence. Every member is drug tested and licensed for your safety and peace of mind. When you need plumbing work done, make sure you ask for the license. It's your right to ask.
We are back live from the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth, the region's local grocer. And it's been all Chatard so far, 14-0. As this kick is returnable from the 1-yard line. Bonato trying to find a gap, but nothing there as he's going to get brought down at the 15. Patrick Belby, one of the Trojans in on the tackle.
So Hanover Central, once again, starting with their backs a little bit against the wall. If they can get back to that first drive where the offensive line was getting off fast and they were able to get a good mix of run and pass, they should be in good shape. And so this is not a panic drive right here. This is a take a deep breath. Let's get back to the basics, get back to the game plan, and let's try to make something happen.
Bikema back in the backfield, so Hanover has rotated their running backs on each of the first 3 drives so far. Resney trying to get out of the pocket, fires this one away. I don't think that made it back to the line of scrimmage, which we already do have a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold against Hanover, so that's going to set them back even further. You've seen Resney roll out of the pocket a lot. That's been a big focus early on in this game for Hanover, but had a little success on the first couple attempts. After that, he's just really been under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and so that's just a creative way the offensive coordinator is just trying to get him out the pocket, make him feel comfortable, and one of these times it'll connect. But I would look for them to roll out and potentially throw back with the screen with the type of pressure Chatard is bringing. So that'll be something to keep an eye on as this game develops.
First down and 15, trips here to the near side. Resney operating from shotgun formation. It's Bikema next to him. The give is to Bikema up the middle, trying to make a man miss. Does fall forward for a gain of about 4. Brought down by Jaeger Guidry.
Good hard run right there.
So it's going to be second and about 12. Bikema relocates to the left of Resney. Fake is to him. Pass quickly into the slot. And a little mini slant is complete, but for a very short gain.
After the hold, and losing some yardage, this is a good response. I mean, to say you're back in 3rd and 5 range, Hanover should be very proud of themselves. They have a good opportunity to get a first down right here.
Bigger gain, and I gave him credit for it. It's 3rd and about 5. Pickup there of 7. Fake once again is tipped, and another batted ball is picked off by Chatard, and another similar play to the first interception when it was a tip ball on a slant. And I believe that interception was by Jaeger Guidry once again.
Yep, and we got to give the tip credit to Thad Lawrence. I mean, you could tell they do defensive drills with the tip drill, and because that entire Hanover defense was reacting after somebody probably yelled tip out on the field. So great heads-up reaction for the Trojans of Chatard High School. And now they're back in the Tech Credit Union red zone.
Guidry joins Stornada with the interception for the Chatard defense, and we have a flag, false start against the Trojans. I believe that's the first penalty of the ball game against Chatard. But again, you got this high-powered offense, #1 ranked team in the state in Class 4A, and you're giving them a short field. And once again, Chatard starts a drive in Hanover's territory, and that makes things very difficult when you're trying to pull an upset if you're the Hanover Central Wildcats.
Yes, it is. And so I don't think we've been in Chatard territory this entire game.
Harrington lobs this one into the end zone, and did he keep his feet in? He did. Touchdown, Chatard.
Wow. That might be a top play nominee as well.
You know what?
Reception for Bishop Chatard. Kane Hard on the reception.
Catch made by Cam Harden. And you heard Isaiah just say that right there is a Hometown Jams Playback 10 nominee. And that touchdown and every touchdown is brought to you by Westland and Bennett. When it's time to finish the drive, make the right call. Extra point once again by Pato Galando. And that line drive kick goes through. He is now 8 of 8 on the year. 2:08 to play in the first quarter. Chatard 21, Hanover nothing.
Save more on your grocery shopping? Join the Strack and Van Til Rewards program. Earn points on every purchase and watch the savings add up. Get personalized offers based on items you buy most. Clip digital coupons for discounted or free products. Enter sweepstakes and more. Not a member? Sign up now. Membership is free. Scan the code on in-store signage. Download the Strack and Van Til app or visit strackandvantil.com. Life made simple. Savings made easy. It's a Strack and Van Til thing.
Back live at Hanover Central High School inside the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth, the region's local grocer. Another kickoff here by Chatard, and once again it is returnable. Let's see if there's any room to run, and there is not. And Hanover once again is going to start inside their own 20. You talk about starting field position. Chatard has dominated that area, which is why they have dominated the game on the scoreboard, leading this one 21-0.
And if you really look at it, you take away the 2 turnovers. I know it's going to sound really obvious, but those are all preventable turnovers, and those are one tip away from them being able to punt, being able to get some space. I mean, even the punt that they had earlier was tipped. So if they can stay away from the tips, they should be in good shape.
Quick pass here into the flat is complete by Bonato. And it's a positive gain. He's able to get 2 or 3 yards on first down, and Hanover will take that every time. And I say that's a good point you made. Both of those interceptions were off deflected passes. It's going to show up for Jeff Resney as 2 interceptions, but you really can't give him the blame on either one of those. And if they are able, if those balls do fall to the ground, Hanover punts, gets their defense out there, and forces Chatard to play a longer field.
Yes, and it just shows you how valuable the football is, how valuable this game is, because it's just a couple plays and you have this result.
Giglio spinning forward for maybe a half a yard.
But the big thing for Hanover is going to be to understand that this isn't an end-all, be-all game. This is we're looking down the road type of game. I mean, Hanover Central, with their booming enrollment, is now a 4A program. So they're going to need games like this to understand what Class 4A is about, which the South has historically dominated the last few years.
Timeout, Hanover Central, 55 seconds to play here in quarter number 1, 21-0 Chatard.
Build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Our hero, Lantern Man, faces off against a nefarious insurance swindler.
I'll trick them into a contract and just keep raising the rates.
Luckily, they can make a call to Crow Company's Lantern Man. He's always ready to protect families from the insurance swindler.
I can easily defeat your overpriced policies. Fair prices always prevail when you call me, the Crow Company's Lantern Man.
Crow Company's Insurance Professionals, Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Resney under pressure, trying to roll out of the pocket. He's finally going to be brought down from behind. He does manage to pick up a yard.
With the carry for the Wildcats.
And more importantly, Isaiah, to your point you made earlier, it's going to allow Hanover Central to punt and hopefully force Chatard into a long field.
Great job right there by Razny keeping that play alive. I mean, that could have been bad, but he fought, and that's the type of fight that you want to see from your main leader at quarterback to kind of translate through the rest of the team.
Low snap, punt is blocked, and falling on it at the 1 yard line is going to be Jax Guidry.
Punt block and return.
Chatard will take over their best obvious field position of the game, and they've had some good field position this time at the 1 yard line, and that was just a low snap there, Isaiah, and there was not much that Boswell could do.
Low snap, and they came hot off the end, and so once again, another tip, technically.
Again, you're giving the number 1 team in the state, one of the best football programs in Indiana, a very short field all day long, and there's a big hole here off the left side behind the left guard. That's where they decided to go with it, but good penetration by Hanover Central. Adams is going to be stopped short.
Adams on the carry, stopped short, goal line.
Couple guys in there, one of them being Anthony Gill. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. From Hanover Central High School, it's all Chatard, 21-0.
As days go by, the most important people in your life are here, now and always, to watch you grow, support you through the ups and downs, and to reach your goals. Trust People's Bank to be one of those relationships, guiding you through life's special moments. Each event with their own financial need and desire. As you move forward, we remain by your side, a reliable partner in days gone by and in the future. People's Bank. Better banking keeps moving forward.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Chatard football inside the Tech Credit Union Red Zone, the better option for your financial journey. Tech Credit Union, touchdown Chatard. And as I was looking at the read, Isaiah, I didn't see who got in the end zone there. Was it keeper on Harrington or was it Adams?
Yep, it was a keeper for Harrington Odom. And yeah, just QB sneak. No tush push.
So Harrington puts Chatard on the board. He gets in the end zone for the first time today, at least with his feet. Extra point upcoming once again for Galando. And this one he drills through. And just like that, 2 seconds into quarter number 2, Chatard puts another 6 on the board. And just a reminder, when the pressure's on, call Westland and Bennett.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
Plumbers Local 210 is building the future, and we're looking for service plumbers to join our team. Our training center invests nearly $500,000 every year to make sure our members are the best in the industry. From a 5-year apprenticeship and an associate degree at Ivy Tech to ongoing certifications in safety and new technology, our plumbers are trained for excellence. Every member is drug tested and licensed for your safety and peace of mind. When you need plumbing work done, make sure you ask for the license. It's your right to ask.
Back at Hanover Central High School, high above the field in the Strack Van Til broadcast booth. 28-0. Chatard leads it here over Hanover Central. As this kick is taken from about the 4-yard line. And finally, Hanover's got room and a nice return by Isaiah Bikema. And the best starting field position of the ball game for the Wildcats. And once again, tonight's broadcast is being brought to you in part by USW Local 71, proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery, fueling the region.
That's a play the special team and the offensive coordinator and even the defensive coordinator is going to love. I mean, offense and defense are struggling, and you get some excitement. Great job, Isaiah.
So Hanover will start at the 35-yard line. Once again, Resney operating from the shotgun and continuing to rotate backs in the backfield. It's Bikema. He makes a few guys miss, spins off a big hit, and is still only going to manage about a yard, but he did a lot of work there just to pick up that yard and took a big hit from Anthony Hoekstra.
Good, tough run there, and you love to see the fight out of these guys. Hanover Central, they know that they have a tall task at hand, but a lot of the senior leaders are probably telling these guys, hey, we're a couple plays away from us being in a 2-score game. So just keep on fighting. Don't even look at the scoreboard. Just play.
Stack formation on both sides for the Wildcats. This time they give up the middle is to Giglio. And he does a lot of fancy footwork there to try to pick up about a yard, maybe 2. But again, keep the sticks moving forward. As Giglio did fumble the ball, but Hanover was able to recover it and live the fight for third down. Call it 3rd and 7. Looks like Munster on the board early against Griffith. 73-yard pass to Preboy. I believe they're leading that one 7-0. Nice pass out to the sideline and complete for a Hanover first down. Jacob Furco able to get out of bounds.
Furco with the reception.
Great play right there and putting some pressure on that secondary. They haven't had much work to do today because the defensive line has been doing it for them, but great job by Hanover executing and taking advantage of it.
And how important is it here, Isaiah, for Hanover to get a couple first downs, maybe not even get in the end zone, just a couple of first downs, get some positivity going offensively?
It is, because it's so early in the game. I mean, it would feel like forever if you're not able to get something going. And you really want your 1s and 2s to be able to get this type of confidence because, as we mentioned, once you get out of regionals, these are the type of caliber teams they're going to be seeing in semi-state to try to get to Lucas Oil Stadium.
Bikema swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by David Lepper. 2nd down and 10. Trips to the left. Fake to Bikema, fires the ball out here into the slide, and the pass is complete to Evan Marsilio, the 6-foot senior, on his first completion of the ball game. And again, that's a big catch. Gets a few yards, and it's 3rd and a much more reasonable, just like the last 3rd down, it's going to be 3rd and about 6.
Hanover early on has been taking advantage of the wide sides of the field, using those bubble RPO plays and rolling out, and so they should lean toward that as they continue to try to build some momentum. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a rollout right here for 3rd down.
3rd and 7. Bikema to the right, and I think Hanover got Chatard to jump, and they did.
They did. Good job by Hanover being disciplined. You got the nose tackle right there jumping off sides. And that's one thing about Chatard. I mean, people forget they drove 2 hours up here. So these guys were excited. They were happy to put a helmet on somebody, but they have a tall task, too, to stay focused this entire game. And that'll show how good they are and can be down the road. I'm sure this game was strategically planned for both sides.
That was big nose tackle Kamari Morris, who was jumping offside. So now it's a 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats. Fake the Boykema. Pass is complete for another Hanover Central first down. Lucas Valiska on the reception.
So there was a little commotion right there. Chatard thought he dropped it, but it was the ground that caused the contact.
Hanover, first down.
Now give him Indiana University Northwest first down.
Very similar to the first drive. Hanover moved the ball well, picked up a couple Indiana University Northwest first downs before turning the ball over. Last week against Michigan City, had a hard time sustaining drives. How big it would be to finish this drive here and put one in the end zone as Boykema is brought down by the umpire somewhere near the sticks after a hard-nosed run.
That's my buddy Kyle Keefe right there, that official, taking that hit like he did back at Portage High School when he was a young man. But great run by Hanover, and that's just some anger right there. We're down. I'm going to run over everybody, and I'm going to take anybody who's in my way with me. Great job, young man.
The big guys love to be the umpires, but that's a very physical position. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You do get beat up sitting at that umpire position. Once again, Boykema spinning forward, breaking out of an ankle tackle by Hoekstra.
Boykema again, the ball carrier.
To your point about the umpire, I've actually obtained my officiating license as well, and so my first game a couple weeks ago, Valpo Penn, freshman game, I nearly avoided disaster. I mean, it looks easy, but it's a whole different ball game, and that's at the freshman level, so you can only imagine that at the varsity level how quick these guys are moving. But hats off to all these officials. They do a great job keeping our players safe.
And as athletic as you may be as an official, and in your mind you're always that kid you used to be, these are still kids that are very athletic. As this ball gets lobbed towards the end zone, what a catch! For a Hanover first down brought in by Jacob Furco. Add that one to the highlight reel. It's a playback 10 moment for the Wildcats, and boy, did they need that.
Head tap, head tap, head tap. Wow. Chatard early on in the game said that they are in the weight room. Well, Hanover Central said, we got a weight room of ourselves in our pretty beautiful school over here.
Hanover doesn't want that clock to start running, as it will if it's 35-0 in the second half. Hanover trying to put that off as long as possible. And what a drive the Wildcats are putting together here. Again, the first drive of the ball game was looking this way before the big interception. Let's see if they can cap this one off. First and goal from the 1. Nowhere to go for Boykema. He's going to be swarmed and lose his hat. And a flag is going to come down. And looks like it's probably going to be a face mask, I would assume.
Definitely. We're early in the season, so all the gloves are still super sticky. And he came in right there, got a little smack on his face mask, and it came right off of Isaiah.
Flag on the play.
It's only going to amount to, I believe if it's a spot foul, it'll be about a 2.5-yard penalty or so.
Half the distance to the goal for your Hanover Wildcats.
If it is from the line of scrimmage, which I believe that's how they marked it, so it'll be a 1-yard penalty. But it will allow Hanover to, because there was going to be a loss of about 4 or 5, so a big break there for the Wildcats.
This has been a great drive. No incompletions, being able to move the ball very solidly, obviously, with the top highlight pass right there.
And Boykema brought down to the background by who else? Anthony Hoekstra, and he's just been all over the place here in the first half.
And this is really 4-down territory for Hanover, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to run it up the middle again, or maybe just try to get the quarterback off the edge to seal some blockers on the side. But this is definitely 4-down territory.
5:25 to play here in the first half. It's Resney on the keeper. He is upended near the goal line, but he got in. Touchdown, Hanover Central. And that touchdown and every touchdown is brought to you by Westland and Bennett. When it's time to finish the drive, make the right call. And Coach Barlameo made the right call there on the great fake. They've been hitting it hard, trying to give the ball to Boykema. That time Resney pulled it out and got in the end zone.
So we're actually going to have to give the credit to Blake Belcher right there for picking up the fumble at the 1-yard line and carrying it in. That's an old lineman's dream, and he got to accomplish it right.
So I beg your pardon, touchdown by Belcher off the fumble recovery. Hanover Central is on the board, 28-7 Chatard.
Opportunities are everywhere, even right around the corner. That's where you'll find Horizon Bank, going beyond to make a difference in our community. Whether you're starting a business or a family, expanding your kitchen or your customer base, drop by and see us for friendly service, local expertise, and solid financial advice. Horizon Bank, beyond ordinary banking. Learn more at horizonbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back inside the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth. It's a Strack and Van Til thing. Hanover Central on the board. Resney on the fake to Boykema. Fumbles the ball near the 1-yard line. Picked up by big number 71, Belcher. And he's able, as you said, a lineman's dream to get into the end zone. And a big break for Hanover Central here as that kick is sent low. It's going to be taken by the up man, and he is going to rumble forward for a nice return. And I think this might be Chatard's worst starting field position of the game, albeit at the 40-yard line.
Yes, it is. And just got to refer back to that last drive. I think we had 2 Hometown Jam top 10 plays of the week nominees right there. You know, one, obviously the catch by Furco, and then 2, the lineman. I mean, anytime a lineman scores, it has to be exactly in the conversation. And so there's your Hometown Jams top 10 play nominees.
So we'll see how Chatard responds, giving up their first score of the ball game. Chatard defeated Lafayette Jeff a week ago, and it was a good one, 35-28. Adams up the middle, and he falls forward for a gain of about 7.
And for Chatard to play a 6A school like Lafayette Jeff, that just speaks volumes on we're not ducking anybody. You know, we're going, that's 2 games in the northern half of the state to start the year for them. And both played on the road, and so great job by them just preparing themselves for a late postseason run.
Cameron Andreevich in on that last tackle for the Wildcats, and there goes Adams breaking through. One man to beat, trying to stiff arm his way into the end zone, and he does.
Wow.
Danny Adams was going one-on-one with Lucas Velisca, and he somehow was able to get into the end zone. Another 6 on the board for Chatard, and another reminder, when the pressure's on, call Westland and Bennett. And Danny Adams, who goes 5'5", 165. The junior can scoot. And he showed it there.
He could scoop for sure. He even took a break to play some patty cake on that way. And so, way to take it to the house.
Another extra point attempt for Pedro Galando. And he remains perfect on the year, and Chatard responds in a hurry. 35-7.
No one ever called it the great indoors. Get out and join us. Our hands are the tools. The outdoors is our office, and our climate control is the climate. We are the Laborers International Union of North America, the best paid, best trained construction professionals in the state. We build Indiana, and we're ready for you to come build it with us.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Roofers Local 26, keeping Northwest Indiana dry for over 100 years. Chatard leads it 35-7. Kick is returnable from about the 3-yard line, and Boykema takes it out to the 20. And that's where the Wildcats will start. 4:17 to play here in the first half.
And while the kickoff unit has been doing a great job for Chatard, obviously the defense as well, we got to give credit to the kicker, the senior Pato Gallardo, for the placement. I mean, he's been consistently and probably strategically placing that ball inside the 10. He has a really good leg. He could probably kick it out of the end zone, but strategically placing it inside of the 10 to where Hanover Central, they making them second guess if they want to return it or not. And that's also playing a factor.
Yeah, Gallardo has done a tremendous job, has not missed an extra point on the season. And his kickoffs have been perfect. The coverage has been excellent for Chatard as well. And I believe I've been saying Galando because that's how I typed it up on my sheet. But yes, the roster does say Gallardo, so I do apologize to the Chatard fans and the family of Pato out there, Gallardo, to get it correct. So we'll see how Hanover Central can finish off the first half here. If they can sustain another drive, they're going to have to go a little quick here, but they do have 2 timeouts left, so plenty of time under 4 minutes to go. See if they can march downfield here and put another one in the end zone and, you know, get a little excitement, generate a little momentum going into the half. Giglio, not much room. He's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. And
carry for Hanover.
Quick timeout taken by Chatard, and we'll go ahead and take one with you. 3:21 to play in half number 1. 35-7 Chatard.
Heating and Cooling is now here to service your area. Since 1968, we have been Northwest Indiana's trusted HVAC experts. Whether it's installing, repairing, or maintaining your heating and cooling systems, our professional and friendly service ensures you stay comfortable year-round. From furnaces and air conditioners to boilers and humidifiers, we handle it all. For tailored maintenance plans, 24/7 emergency response, and premium HVAC solutions, visit popahvac.com or call 219-838-7700.
Get ready, Region. It's time to Wing and Roll 2025. Friday, September 5th at Bulldog Park in Crown Point. Mental Health America of Northwest Indiana brings you the biggest, boldest fundraiser of the year. Taste wings from the region's best chefs. Jam to live music from Backstory NWI. Play games, win prizes, and cast your vote for the best wings in Northwest Indiana. And this year, we're going back to the 80s. So throw on your leg warmers and get ready to party. Tickets sold out last year, so don't wait. Grab yours today and join us for Wing and Roll 2025.
Resney has to throw that ball away, but a flag is going to be thrown behind him and probably going to be a hold against Hanover Central, which I'm sure will be declined. And that'll bring up a 4th down. Punt team will come on for the Wildcats.
So after a couple good drives with Hanover Central being able to move the ball a little more, they're getting halted again. And so it's really just another moment, learning point, where these guys take a deep breath and they understand that if we could continue to learn from these things, these are the later in the season, we're going to appreciate these moments. And so hopefully they keep fighting.
But this is the situation that you alluded to earlier where the worst play is not a punt. And they had a couple bad breaks on those deflected passes. And if those balls would have hit the ground, and I'm not sure they were both on 3rd down or not, but you don't turn that ball over and you're able to get your punt team out there, who knows? You know, we saw Chatard just march right down the field, so it's going to be very difficult to stop them no matter where they begin their drive. But you at least want to force them to go a long field because a lot of things can happen. Possibly Chatard could turn the ball over and give Hanover a short field. So those are just a couple bad breaks and those deflected passes that really put Hanover up against it.
Yes, and you're 100% correct. It'll be interesting. They've leaned a lot on the run game because they've had to. We saw a couple drives where with the tightrope pass in the end zone and whatnot and targeting this big number 88 receiver. And so we'll see what they choose to do this drive with 3 minutes left.
Chatard with 2 timeouts left. They did burn a timeout on that last defensive possession because they wanted to get the ball back. Adams comes out here in the flap. It's going to be a quick pass back the other way, and he has room to run, and I don't think anyone's going to get him. Another quick touchdown for Chatard. Julio Graves into the end zone, but there is a flag on the play. I don't see the flag, but I see the refs coming in to have a conversation.
I think they might get him with a block in the back. That receiver, great job by the Hanover Central player. I couldn't get a number on him, but he got around, the DB got around at a good position to where he forced that offensive lineman to have no choice but to block him in the back. And so that was number 5 for Hanover Central, Ben Boswell, the sophomore, making the play, preventing the touchdown.
So that flag was on the 41-yard line, right at the spot of the completion by Graves. And it was a very nice, well-designed play as sending Adams out to the near side took a lot of the defense attention. Was able to hit Graves on the backside. This time Harrington goes long, has a man, and in and out of the hands. I believe that was Graves again. Beautiful-looking ball. Graves just couldn't bring it in.
Beautiful looking ball right there.
Single coverage there.
You talk about it. I mean, This quarterback has done a great job with his ball placement, but we talk from the Hanover Central perspective, a couple tip passes, a couple drop passes, a couple missed blocks. I mean, that's this drive right here. They got a penalty, a missed pass, and now they're 2nd and long.
Jack Harrington goes 6'2", 205. He's got some good size. Throws the ball well enough to play at the next level. This one gets dumped out into the flat and dropped by Drew Swickheimer. And nearly an opportunity there for an interception for North Newton. I know Zerby was in the area.
Yes, he was. And he was going for the kill shot right there. But definitely if he kept his eyes up, could have seen that. But either way, he was in position. And that's the biggest thing that matters right there as Chatard prepares for 3rd and 20.
So we'll see what Chatard tries to dial up here and how aggressive they want to be. And there's really no reason not to be extremely aggressive. They've had success all night long. Harrington under pressure, barely gets the ball out of his hand, and that's the before-mentioned Zerbe, the outstanding linebacker for Hanover Central. He came through the middle untouched to set up a 4th down.
And this drive just showed us Chatard is human. They have some things to work on, just like many teams do in week 2 in the Indiana football. And this is a big break and a really good opportunity for Hanover Central to get some more confidence heading into halftime.
Well, Chatard's going to keep the offense on the field on 4th and 20, and this is an interesting decision here, but they're going to go for the kill shot. Hanover rushing 3. Zerbe coming on a late blitz. Ball's thrown all over the middle, and it's over the head of the intended receiver, Zach Wagner. So Hanover Central will take over an excellent field position at the 50-yard line, and they'll have an opportunity to close this gap a little bit.
Me being a former football player, that would have kind of made me a little upset, you know. For Chatard, I get it, you guys came a long way, but the 4th and 20, you might want to punt it. But either way, I get it for them. They probably want that running clock to keep it running in the second half. And from their also perspective, midfield, they have a lot of confidence in their defense, so great job for them. And Hanover Central on the other side, they have a great opportunity right here to get some points, some positivity up on that board.
Yeah, you said, 4th and 20, that's interesting. Why not just punt the ball? You know, but a lot of it could be they wanted to start that 3rd quarter with the running clock, as Resney's going to keep this one here, and he can't get to the outside. Nice tackle there from behind by big number 50, A.J. Harmon, the 5'10", 190-pound senior. He's able to track Resney down from behind, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 14.
And they've just been, Chatard, they've been rotating that D-line all game long. And so it's impressive to see that they have a tall D-line. It seems like they got a power D-line. It seems like they got a coverage D-line. And so those guys are definitely stacked up at that position.
Trips to the high side. Single receiver here down low. Resney's going to roll out to the right. The lefty's going to fire it complete to the 45, and falling forward to about the 43 is going to be number 24, Evan Marsilio, the 6', 165-pound senior. Makes it 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats.
That's a great pass right there, and a great opportunity right here. 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. I wouldn't be surprised if they went toward one of those bubble screens toward this wide side of the field at the bottom of your screen.
It's going to be trips once again, this time to the left side. Running back resets, that's Boykema. He's going to get the carry, and he is going to be hit hard and dragged down by Jax Guidry. And another timeout for Chatard, and boy, Chatard's going to stay aggressive with 1:07 to go here in the first half.
This should be an interesting timeout for Tony Bartolomeo in his first year here at Hanover Central. I mean, what would you do, Tim? Do you try to go for it, or do you just punt them and pin them deep?
You know, I could see it 2 different ways, and you know, sometimes as a coach you get upset when you see timeouts being called here by the opposing coach, and that anger can make me want to punt the ball and not give them an easy score. You know, that could be my pettiness. I actually think the smart decision here is just to go for it. You got nothing to lose, down 35-7. Yeah, it's 4th and manageable, about 5 or 6. If you can pick up the 1st down here, you have a couple timeouts left. Maybe you can sneak in another score, get a lot of momentum. But I think the petty thing from me, if I'm thinking that direction, is I'm going to punt the ball away and I'm going to force you to go 90 yards. But Hanover has not had success punting the ball today. Of course, they had the one blocked and the one other that was only about 15, 20-yard punt.
I'm aligned with what you're thinking, and that's what they're going to do.
Trips to the left. Looks like Chatard's going to bring pressure, and now they're going to back off. And now possibly going to come in again, and we're going to get a late timeout here by Coach Bartolomeo, as he didn't like the look that Chatard was giving him, so he's going to have further conversation. Or was that just him trying to possibly draw Chatard off sides? Now he's going to go out there and punt.
He's definitely playing chess at this moment. I think he's just trying to get Chatard to think, something they haven't had to do much of today. And so this is a good opportunity for them to probably do one of their special plays that they've been working on. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the bubble screens have worked well for them. The rollouts have been here and there for them. But we can also potentially plan on the screen. After seeing how much pressure they wanted to bring, he might be pulling out one of their screens. I remember a couple years ago at Hobart, we were blitzing a lot, and Hanover Central just said, "Oh, you know what? We're just gonna toss it up to our guy, Caden Barrett." He was standing at the line, nobody in sight. And so I got that vibe and just like the memory, just seeing how much pressure Chatard was planning on bringing that last play. So
I was actually on the call on that game. I do remember. And again, I don't fault Chatard for, calling a timeout, trying to get the ball back here either. Go for the kill. Good for them. As this ball's lofted near the sideline and over the head of the intended receiver, Lucas Velisca. So Chatard will take over. But, yeah, I was talking about the pettiness that I might feel. And, I'm going to try to force you. I don't fault Chatard for doing that. They still got a game to play. The game is not over. It's not going to be running clock yet. I think once you get to that running clock point, then you may coach a little differently. But they're trying to get there. It's 35-7. They want to put on as many points as possible. They drove a long way. And, they're going to play this half, all the way down to 0 and try and score as much as possible. Shotgun formation here. Pass lobbed over the middle. Trying to hit the big tight end there, Drew Swickhelmer, and in and out of his hands. They've looked his way a couple times, haven't been able to connect quite yet.
This is like the 5th straight play Chatard has not gained positive yardage. So you wonder, are they complacent? Are they getting a little bit tired? Because one thing we also have to realize, it's 8:38 in Indianapolis right now. So these guys would be in the 4th quarter of their game if they were playing at home.
Yeah, Harrington's had a hard time hitting a couple completions over the middle on his last couple pass attempts. Setting up the screen here and can't connect. Trying to dump the ball off to Wagner. So there you go. Hanover Central defense tightening up a little bit. And that's going to set up 3rd down and 10. When you talk about the struggle they've had the last couple drives, and they've really gone away from the run game. And I've expected to see a lot more Adams than even we got. I know we had the big run, 2 drives ago, but, I wouldn't hate to see a couple runs here if they're going to go for it on 4th down. This time they're going to look to the sideline. They got single coverage looking for Graves, and again drops it right in the pocket, and it's broken up by Furco. And I don't know if Furco got a hand in there and knocked that out, but that was good coverage. But once again, just another on-the-money pass by Harrington.
Wow. Yeah, they were going for that deep ball. Great coverage by Hanover Central to get the stop, and now they're looking at another 4th down.
I can't tell if that's 6 or 8, if that's Furkel or that's possibly Anthony Lehman over there, whose name I haven't called much today, and that might be him, number 8. But Hanover's defensive backs have done a good job on his receivers, as this one's thrown incomplete.
Oh.
And are we going to get a late hit?
Yep.
To give Chatard new life.
Came in there hot. You talk about that anger. It might have just been that. You're just not thinking. You're just coming in hot off the edge.
That's going to be Corey Hazley. But, Hanover Central's really done a nice job. On these wide receivers. Oftentimes they're in an island single coverage, and the passes that have been complete, you see Harrington is just throwing perfect balls, dropping these in the buckets. And he did on the last couple attempts, trying to get the ball to Julio Graves, who's just not been able to hold on. So it's going to be 1st down and 10 for Chatard. 44.8 seconds to play. They do have 1 timeout. Harrington, quick release to the sideline. Graves hauls in that one. Smartly steps out of bounds after a gain of 7.
Yep, we haven't seen Graves or heard his name since the first quarter when he had those couple catches. So nice to see him get back on the radar.
Graves looks to the sideline. Now he's ready to go. He's going to sprint out near side. Quick pass complete. It's going to be shy of the first down. So Chatard's going to have to hurry as Wagner makes the catch. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Clock ticks under 30 seconds. Harrington has him quickly back lined up. This time he rolls out to the left, dumps this one off to Swick-Helmer, and he's going to fall forward for a first down. That will stop the clock.
Chatard still rolling. They're going to,
Reception by Slickheimer for the Trojans.
Swickheimer, I beg your pardon. On that last reception, apologize for saying his name incorrect. We have a player down for Chatard, so that is going to take us to a Powers Health Injury timeout. Everything we do, everything we believe.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Back inside the Strachan Van Til broadcast booth. It's a Strachan Van Til thing. And it's Indiana University Northwest first down for Chatard. First down and 10 at the 29-yard line. Clock is going to run. We are under 15 seconds. Harrington forced to roll out of pocket, being chased by Zerby. Harrington fires this one away. 4.7 seconds remaining.
Great decision right there by Odom to just take the safe call. Throw it out of bounds. Great coverage by Hanover Central. Great pressure by the D-line. That was a really good football play by everybody all across the board.
So we'll see what Chatard looks to do here, and it looks like they are going to attempt a deep field goal. Looks like it's going to be a 46-yard attempt. And Gallardo has been perfect from PATs. This is his first field goal attempt on the season. Looks like it might have the distance, just short. And that will take us to the half.
The kick is no good.
From Hanover Central, it's been all Chatard. They lead it 35-7.
Powers Health is committed to advancing medical care and technology in our area. Cancer research and clinical trials so you can explore new horizons. Heart care expertise with a collaborative team of specialists so you can create more memories together. Northwest Indiana's only certified comprehensive stroke center so you can cover new ground. When it comes to advanced care, look no further. Everything we do, everything we believe, Powers Health.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
Truck drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com.
No one ever called it the great indoors. Get out and join us. Our hands are the tools. The outdoors is our office. And our climate control is the climate. We are the Laborers International Union of North America, the best paid, best trained construction professionals in the state. We build Indiana, and we're ready for you to come build it with us.
But it's time. Listen, you gotta catch up.
Yeah. I'll catch up with you. I'll be right back.
I'll see you in a minute.
Anything else? Yeah.
Well, what's up, boy?
Hey, Ryan. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Oh, yeah. You guys are right. Hey, come on. Let's go. Come in.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Get ready, Region. It's time to Wing and Roll 2025. Friday, September 5th at Bulldog Park in Crown Point. Mental Health America of Northwest Indiana brings you the biggest, boldest fundraiser of the year. Taste wings from the region's best chefs. Jam to live music from Backstory NWI. Play games, win prizes, and cast your vote for the best wings in Northwest Indiana. And this year, we're going back to the 80s. So throw on your leg warmers and get ready to party. Tickets sold out last year, so don't wait. Grab yours today and join us for Wing.
As days go by, the most important people in your life are here, now and always, to watch you grow, support you through the ups and downs, and to reach your goals. Trust People's Bank to be one of those relationships, guiding you through life's special moments. Each event with their own financial need and desire. As you move forward, we remain by your side, a reliable partner in days gone by and in the future. People's Bank, better banking.
Hometown Jams presents Kip Moore live at Bulldog Park in Crown Point on Thursday, September 4th. From the anthems you know, Something About a Truck, Beer Money, and More Girls Like You, to the raw energy of his newest hits, Kip Moore brings the kind of show you feel in your chest. Tickets are on sale now at hometownjams.com. Use promo code HJSPONSOR to save 10% off. Kip Moore, September 4th, Bulldog Park.
Back live at Hanover Central High School in Cedar Lake, Indiana, high above the field in the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth. Your region's grocer, as the Hanover Central Marching Band is set to take the field, and
Drum major Marco
always a highlight
The field is yours for the halftime
everywhere
performance.
we go throughout the region, throughout the state. The wonderful marching bands get their moment at halftime and always do a terrific job. The game here, 35-7, Indianapolis Chatard, number 1 ranked team in Class 4A, leads Hanover Central. Along with Isaiah Gransberry, I'm Tim Fedler, and we knew it was going to be a tall task for Hanover coming into this game. It's, after really dominating the region, at least in the regular season the last 5 years, Hanover Central, a little bit of a down year. They've lost, quite a bit of talent. But they also started out the season with 2 very difficult opponents, Michigan City last week and now Chatard here. But, you talk about Chatard, they're obviously good. They're loaded. An outstanding running back in Daniel Adams. Harrington has just thrown some terrific balls that a couple more of them should have been completed than actually were. But it's the turnovers for Hanover Central that have just really put them up against it. And Chatard's had excellent field position. And, it's hard when you're trying to pull an upset to give a team a short field, and Chatard's taking advantage of it.
You hit it right on the head. The field position game, that tells the whole story. But as we just talked with one of the Hanover Central administrators, it's really not that far off. You look at the first quarter, that's out the window, 28-0. But from there, they played them even in the second quarter, 7-7,
right,
with a lot of opportunities, a lot of positivity, them driving down the field, being able to connect on passes, being able to run the ball comfortably, and not turning it over in that second quarter. While Chatard, whether it was the time zone or whether they just got comfortable, but they were struggling as well to move the ball. They had a couple mental lapses on penalties and whatnot, and so, you can't be too mad going into that second quarter or going into halftime, but it's a lot of upside for Hanover Central looking forward to the second half.
You feel like Chatard can run the ball at will, and when they have handed the ball to Danny Adams, he's pretty much gotten anything he wanted, including a 60-yard touchdown run there in quarter number 2. And maybe it has been, Isaiah, correct me if I'm wrong, but we saw a lot of passes being thrown there and late in the second quarter, especially up 35-7. Maybe it's just, hey, let's just work on a few things. We know we can run the ball when we need to. The schedule is going to get very difficult for Chatard, very fast. They obviously hope to make a deep run and play in Lucas Oil as they usually do. So maybe it was just a thing of trying to work on a few things, because we saw a couple real nice passes that were dropped. We saw Harrington trying to go over the middle and wasn't quite able to connect on some plays over the middle, wasn't able to connect on the screen pass. Maybe that's not a strength of theirs, passing the ball over the middle. And maybe they were just trying to work on a few things, and credit Hanover Central for not giving them anything easy.
100%, and you mentioned it. If they want to get to the Dome like they do historically, get to Lucas Oil Stadium, they need to be an all-around football team. And right now, as good as they are and as lopsided as the scoreboard shows, that second quarter kind of exposed some weaknesses in them with the passing game, not being able to connect. And the quarterback, he's been placing the ball in positions, but it's really credit to Hanover for those DBs just getting in position, making sure that they're not just giving these Chatard receivers easy plays. And so credit to Hanover Central, but Chatard, they obviously got some stuff to work on too, but it's only week 2.
Chatard deferred. They won the toss. They will receive to start the second half. And, let's not forget about Hanover Central, their outstanding scoring drive, and they did move the ball down the field. And what about the outstanding pass and catch by Jacob Furco down there, which definitely is going to be a Hometown Jams Playback 10 nominee. Terrific pass and catch there, Resney DeFurco.
Yes, and we've seen a lot of top 10, Hometown Jam top 10 nominees today. Between that and then our offensive lineman, Blake Belcher, the 6'2 senior, scoring a touchdown. And then we even saw Daniel Adams put in his bid for a top 10 play coming all the way from Indianapolis with a 50-yard run unofficially.
Once again from the half, here from Hanover Central High School, Chatard leads it 35-7.
No one ever called it the great indoors. Get out and join us. Our hands are the tools. The outdoors is our office. And our climate control is the climate. We are the Laborers International Union of North America, the best paid, best trained construction professionals in the state. We build Indiana, and we're ready for you to come build it with us.
Hello again, everybody. This is Matt Maloney of the Matt Maloney Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams of Northwest Indiana. The region is a beautiful place to live, and I've soared to new heights to market your listing to the best and widest possible audience. Call me today at 219-301-0477 or visit mattmaloneyrealtor.com and let's get started. It's not baloney. I'm Matt Maloney.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero. Crowell Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
This weekend, make Doc's Barbecue your home for wall-to-wall football action. Kick things off with Friday Night Lights on JEG TV. Roll into a full slate of college football Saturday, and wrap it up with every big play from NFL Sunday, all on the big screen at Doc's. Pair the games with Southern-style hickory smoked barbecue in a fun, family-friendly atmosphere. Stop by Doc's Smokehouse in Dyer, where football and flavor go hand in hand all weekend long.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Want to save more on your grocery shopping? Join the Strack & Van Til Rewards program. Earn points on every purchase and watch the savings add up. Get personalized offers based on items you buy most. Clip digital coupons for discounted or free products. Enter sweepstakes and more. Not a member? Sign up now. Membership is free. Scan the code on in-store signage. Download the Strack & Van Til app or visit strackandvantil.com. Life made simple. Savings made easy. It's a Strack & Van Til thing.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Live at Hanover Central High School, high above the field in the Streck and Van Til booth. It's a Streck and Van Til thing, 35-7, Indianapolis. Bishop Chatard leads it. Class 4A, number 1 ranked team in the state, leads Hanover Central here as we're about to begin half number 2. They put the extra 3 minutes on the clock. That's approaching the 1 minute mark right now. Few scores that we've been getting from around the region that you can watch a lot of these games on the Jet TV Sports Network if you just want to click us off, or maybe some people I'm sure have a fancy man cave setup, or maybe you got 3 or 4 different screens going like March Madness every Friday night sitting around watching these games. I know there's some cool setups out there, I've seen on Instagram and different things. So, however you enjoy your high school football, Highland leads Whiting 21-0. Lowell ahead of LaPorte. I think that was in the second quarter, 13-6, down at the newly renovated Inferno. South Central over Boone Grove, 14-0. Again, this is the Doc Smokehouse scoreboard. Wheeler over KV, 18-7, and I don't know if there's anything surprising there, Isaiah, other than the one you just gave us, and it's Maryville only trailing Loyola 2-0. Was that in the third quarter?
Yes, in the third quarter, and it's impressive to say that, we talked earlier in this game about teams stepping out of their comfort zone for the non-conference matchups. This is strategic, not only for the postseason, but just to give your guys an opportunity to play somebody different. You scrimmage region teams. Historically, they scrimmage other region teams, but now we're starting to see region teams invite teams from Illinois, teams from down in Indy to come up here and play. And, we joked about it earlier, but it's nice for Chatard. You would hope that Chatard took a bus around some of the neighborhoods over here in Hanover Central right, and saw some of those houses for sale in this beautiful community. But either way, it's just great to see some different type of football. I mean, it's been a while since region teams have stepped this far out of their comfort zone.
And it's really all across the region. Of course, tomorrow, Andran taking on Bishop Loras. Crown Point is down in Indianapolis right now, taking on Pike. Valpo's also over in Chicago, taking on Brother Rice. I'm not sure where that game's at, but Valpo is taking on Brother Rice tonight. And, we hear all the time, obviously, how great football is in Chicago, and it is. And how great football is in Indianapolis, and it is. So it's nice to see these region teams venturing out rather than just taking on, a 1A or a 2A school if you're a big 3A or 4A, to try to get a win before you head into conference play. As a big hole here up the middle for Chatard, and they'll have great starting field position again out at the 50-yard line.
That's the second time this game they kicked it to that young man.
But yeah, in the old days, or you would stack a couple easy wins in weeks 1 and 2 heading into conference play. But now you see them stepping out, much like we're seeing in college football with some big games coming up this weekend. You're an SEC team. I wouldn't blame you if you just wanted to play a couple cupcakes, pay a couple teams from the MAC to come to your stadium in weeks 1 and 2. But no, you get LSU taking on Clemson. the big matchup, of course, between Ohio State and Texas. You love to see these early season non-conference matchups, and that's happening at the high school level now too.
Yes, go Bucks. And hopefully sooner or later, I know Indiana University, they have 3 cupcakes to start their year. I know not too many people would be happy about me saying that, but hopefully they have a good season and want to follow trend.
Well, it worked for them last year when they played virtually nobody and took them all the way to the college football playoffs, so why not follow that path again?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of IU fans out there not happy with us right now for those comments, but
hey, if it makes anything better, I'm an Indiana University Northwest student, so go Redhawks, kind of.
I don't have any allegiances one way or another, but hey, you do what you need to do to get the end result. As Adams is going to get the carry, and after the offsides on first down, he takes about a 6-yard carry for an Indiana University Northwest first down.
And we talked in the second half, they kind of went away from the run game a little earlier than we expected. Just start throwing passes midway through that second quarter, but they're leaning on it to start this half. And so you wonder if the coach said, we know this works. We have this opportunity to solidify this run game, and as we continue to move forward, let's just lean on it.
Yeah, I think we'll get a heavy dose of Danny Adams here, and he takes on a tackler head on and is able to fall forward for a first down. And there is a Hanover Central player slow to get up, and he looked a little dazed there. That's Corey Hazley. But he looks to be okay now as he's running off under his own power. So we won't need the Powers Health injury timeout. Powers Health, everything we do, everything we believe. Chatard's going to line up after the 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6.
Danny Adams is a truck, and he's quick, but definitely not afraid to lower his shoulder.
Little delay here. Not sure what the conversation is, but it may have just been a mental note on Hazley running off the field if it was a suspected concussion, and that may have been exactly be what we have. Up the middle again to Adams. He stutter steps his way for another Indiana University Northwest first down to the 28-yard line.
For the Trojans, good number, Trojan first down.
You talk about this Chatard team, and they opened up last week against 5A Power Lafayette Jeff, team that Crown Point fans are going to probably become very familiar with. That's a possible sectional opponent. But look at the next 2 games for Indianapolis Chatard. Ron Colley next week, and then Indianapolis Cathedral. There's a lot of state championships in the history of those schools.
Yes, that is not a schedule for the faint of heart.
Zerbian on the tackle that time, dragging Adams down from behind.
But we mentioned how them being able to take these trips, even though, like, right now it's 9:09 their time, so they're probably just finishing up their game down in Indianapolis, Eastern time zone. And so this is a great way to expose these young men to adversity and see how will they respond. It'll be interesting to see how long he keeps the starters out there, but it'll be also important for them to have this. So then later on in the season, if maybe they do have to come up north for a game.
Adams fights his way close to the 10-yard line for another Indiana University Northwest first down.
Good enough for another Trojan first down.
Have to come up north because I know they're one of those tweener schools where they're like right there on the border, so they shift back and forth. With the fluctuations in Class 4A, they shift back and forth which Indy area schools will actually be on the north side of the tournament per se. So they might have to play a northern team and cross another time zone.
Adams, stutter step to the right, breaks a couple tackles. Zerby drags him down at the 5, but a bunch of flags come in. And one thing that's always interesting in some of those conferences down in Indianapolis, you'll get conference opponents who could actually and have faced each other in the state championship game, because one goes north, one goes south, and it can happen where then the state championship game, and I think there was one last year, I can't remember the teams, where it was a conference matchup playing for the state championship.
Yes, and a lot of people have their theories about that and whatnot. You know, we'll leave them there, but it's interesting, but it does show you how good Indianapolis is. Indianapolis area, I mean, it was some crazy stat a couple years ago I read, like 80% of the kids in Indiana are like in the Indianapolis metropolitan area. So those are some big schools, a lot of talent, a lot of guys that are going to be playing on Saturdays and Sundays. And so it's a lot of opportunity for just football to be played. And that's why you see schools like Chatard stretching their wings and just getting out of that for a minute just to see other types of football.
Adams so good on that stutter step move, patiently finding his hole, gets himself into the end zone, and another 6 on the board for Chatard. And another reminder, when the pressure's on, call Westland and Bennett.
Tiptoed in for that touchdown.
Gallardo's extra point is up and good. 9:04 the play in quarter number 3. 42-7 Chatard.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
This is your home for high school sports, the JED TV Sports Network. With the NCC Network, PCC Network, and 19 high schools across the region, we bring you more local games than anyone, live and on demand. From rivalry matchups to playoff runs, watch your school, your town, your team on the JED TV app, available on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple, Android, or JEDTV.com. JED TV Sports Network, 19 schools, 2 conferences, 1 place to watch it all.
Back live on the JED TV Sports Network at Hanover Central High School, high above the field in the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth. It's a Strack and Van Til thing. Chatard is up 42-7. They've reached the magic number of 35. So when this kickoff comes to a completion, the clock should run, or will they wait till the next actual stoppage? Nope, the clock will continue to run the rest of the way, except for an injury and I believe score and in between quarters. Hanover will come out at the 20-yard line. And, you look at this Hanover Central team, I believe we are now in year 3 of the Northwest Crossroads Conference for Hanover Central, coming over from the GSSC. And, they made that move. In part, they were dominating the regular season. Obviously, the community's growing. The school just outgrew that conference. But they wanted to toughen up their schedule, and they wanted to make themselves more tournament ready. They walk into the NCC, and they win the conference each of their first 2 years in it. Last year was a tie with Andran. May have been a 3-way tie with Holbrook. I can't exactly remember. But they won the NCC each of their first 2 years. And not only do they take the step up in competition by going to the NCC and having to play the likes of Andran and Hobart, Lowell, Kankakee Valley, they also then go ahead and schedule one of the best programs in the state of Indiana in Chatard. They drove down Indianapolis last year in I believe it was a lightning-shortened game. And then, get the home and home here. And I'm not sure if it's just a 2-year series or not, but you just got to give a lot of credit to athletic director Ryan Bridges, to head coach Brian Parker for just really stepping up and just going all in on this schedule as they then made the move from 3A to 4A. And we're just, they want to be competitive in the tournament. They want to win sectional championships, and this is exactly what you need to do.
And you hit it right on the head. They want to be competitive in the postseason. They are in a similar position as Crown Point, as a school with exploding enrollment, a lot of talent moving into these communities, and they've been good. They've dominated the regular season. I mean, they had a streak of their own a couple years ago where they didn't lose a regular season game, but their kryptonite was the postseason. And so scheduling a game like this, as we mentioned multiple times in this broadcast, it's not just about the scoreboard tonight. It's about taking this film and dissecting it to where we're not going to make this mistake in week 3, but we're also not going to make this mistake in the sectional championship. We're going to be prepared. We're going to hit that weight room. We're going to make sure we're locked in, because these are the type of teams that they're going to have to beat if they want to get that sectional championship, which they have not earned yet.
Hanover moves in the conference play next week when they'll take a drive down Indianapolis Boulevard to take on the Highland Trojans, with Lowell and Kankakee Valley to follow right here at Hanover Central. Resney fires this ball deep along the sideline, and that one is going to be picked off. And now there is room to run. And he is going to bring that one out near midfield to the 50-yard line. That's Noah Stornetta on his second interception of the ball game. A lot of flags come in, and we'll have to wait to see what's going on here. There is some chippiness going not only at midfield, but back behind the play about the 35-yard line as well.
The back behind near the 30-yard line, the lineman that got upset, he got beat. The Hanover Central lineman actually pancaked the Chatard lineman, and he got up and retaliated. And these are the type of moments that are also coachable. On both sides of the ball, you got to keep your composure. You cannot let mistakes like this happen. But fortunately, it's week 2, and so you have these moments right now where you can teach these guys, hey, it's serious. If you get kicked out of this game, you don't play next week. And as the season progresses and the stakes raise higher and higher, that's just something you got to keep in mind. You got to keep your cool.
So we're still waiting, I believe, to see what we have here as the referee comes over to have a coach with Tony Bartolomeo. So it should indicate a penalty against Chatard, and it's exactly what we have here as they are marching the ball backwards. And it's going to be a personal foul against Chatard. And it's going to be 2 personal fouls against Chatard, so that's why they're going to take it back 30 yards. So Chatard will have their worst starting field position of the game at the 20-yard line. First down and 10. On the clock, I don't know if they purposely stopped the clock for that, as there was a long conversation, but it should be running, and it is now, as we tick to 5 minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Talk about Tony Bartolomeo, first-year head coach at Hanover Central. Previously spent 5 years at Lake Central before coming over, where he was the assistant to Brian Parker. Also got to coach his son, Rocco, the last few years, a tremendous wide receiver here for Hanover. Unfortunately, he graduated with a very good senior class, and this is, I don't know if they want to call it a rebuilding year. Well, we'll have to see once they get in the conference play. There's a lot of talent on the field, but they certainly opened up with a tough schedule. A lot of coaches like to use the word, retooling, or what's the other word? It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm drawing a blank out, but they don't like to say rebuilding anymore.
Yeah.
But they're, just kind of retooling, reshaping things, and reloading is the word I was looking for.
Reloading. And so they, in this NCC conference, I like to look at it as like the Big Ten, and obviously the Duneland being the SEC. And Big Ten, it's a lot of hard-nosed teams that are always a threat. I mean, you have Dran, who's obviously made it to state multiple times in the last 5 years, and then you have Hobart, who in the last 5 years has made some deep runs in the playoffs, as well as Lowell. And so it's a conference there's no gimmies. You know, even Kankakee Valley with Kirk Kennedy at the helm, a guy who has a large success on, you know, having his teams play hard. And so there's no gimmies in the conference, and that's where we'll see, you know, how good the Hanover Central has really gotten in comparison to last year. Is like last year they had a lot of close games, some blowouts and whatnot, and so we'll see how they shape up against the NCC. It's a pretty competitive, balanced conference.
Yeah, you talk about the head coaches in that conference, and now Keith Kilmore retires after last year, and incoming down the Lowell from New Prairie, Corey McKim, who has done nothing but had success at New Prairie, multiple sectional championships, a state runner-up. He takes over the Red Devil program as Hanover will take over at the 47-yard line. And, you know, Lowell, 4-6, I believe, the last 2 years. You know, big-time down seasons for Red Devil standards. You know, and you expect Corey McKim to get them back on the right track in the very near future. And, you know, just a lot of good head coaches and a lot of good football in the NCC.
And then they have Ileana Christian joining soon.
Coming over, right.
And so Ileana Christian, I know they started playing some JV football this year, and their youth programs are active as well. And so that's another school joining the NCC that's really good, that could potentially stir some things up, you know.
Well, that's a school that has been dominant in baseball, you know, won back-to-back state championships in baseball and then a state runner-up in year 3. You know, very good basketball programs as well. So, you know, in the community, very nearby here to Cedar Lake, over there in Dyer. They got a beautiful campus. And or Dyer, St. John, I'm not sure what they call it, exactly where they're located. But, yeah, you expect them to draw, you know, a lot of tremendous athletes. And I think in very short order, much like when Hanover started not that long ago, it didn't take them long to become a power in football, and I think Ileana Christian is going to follow a very similar path.
Yes, there's a lot of talent over in this area with how many developments have just been built over here, and beautiful homes, lots of space, farmland transitioning into residential space, and so that's why you're seeing a large influx of families moving over from different areas and whatnot. But to your point, that's something a lot of people forget. Hanover Central, I mean, I think it was 2010 was when they had their JV team take the field for the first time. And then I want to say around like 2015 was when their varsity team started competing. So you're looking in a 10-year span to know the success of how that school did and how they managed to do it with the boost in enrollment and, you know, the fluctuation of coaches and whatnot is very impressive.
The second down play was Resney to Elliott with his first catch of the ball game. Micah Elliott, this time Resney runs for it on third down and slides down, so that's going to bring up a 4th down and 2 for Hanover Central in Chatard territory at the 46-yard line. Trip split to the right side. Resney, shotgun formation, is going to roll out to the right. Resney fires the ball, incomplete as it was deflected, intended for
Pass intended for Rocco Bonato on the play, incomplete.
Bonato. And Chatard will take over on downs. As that brings us to the end of quarter number 3 here from Hanover Central High School. Chatard leads it 42-7.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
But it's time. Listen, you got to catch up.
Yeah. I'll catch up with you. I'll be right back.
I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, what's up, boy?
Hey, Ryan. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Oh, yeah. You guys are live. Hey, come on. Let's go. Come in. Come in.
Back live at Hanover Central High School inside the Straka Van Til broadcast booth, and that was Wyatt Tuell in a quarterback for Hanover Central on that last drive in place of Resney. I beg your pardon on that. Was able to complete a pass on that drive as Chatard runs the ball up the middle here, as tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by USW Local 7-1, proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery, fueling the region. 2nd down and 6 here for Chatard.
Speaking of fuel, you really, I know this is going to sound so obvious, but you take away those 4 straight possessions where they started in enemy territory.
Right.
Hanover Central's down by 14.
Yeah, and as Max Lockhart's in a quarterback for Chatard, that's how you have to look at it as a coach. You got to find positivity when you go in tomorrow morning and you watch the film and you look at those 2 deflected interceptions. They gave the ball to Hanover Central in great territory or to Chatard, and you got to talk about that and how important it is to protect the football and not just give the game away. And what if we could have punted the ball and forced Chatard to go a long field, as a nice hard run there by George Park, the 5'8", 157-pound senior.
For a first down.
As Chatard has a lot of their backups in.
And that's part of the reason why I made that point right there, is because, Hanover Central, they had a tall task for them and whatnot, but you almost wonder, football is a game of limited opportunities, but you almost wonder if they gave themselves an opportunity to punt the ball or gave themselves an opportunity to prevent those deflections, what this game would look like. And this is something like, you hear these stories all the time. Right now they're down 42-7, but this is a game, like, say they ran into them in the postseason, it could be a whole different situation.
Right. Hanover's a young team. They're going to learn from this. As tonight's broadcast is also brought to you in part by Roofers, Local 26, keeping Northwest Indiana dry for over 100 years. Run up the middle for about a 4-yard gain. It's going to set up 3rd and 2. Sherby, the ball carrier, Joe Sherby, 5'8", 133-pound running back. Give up the middle again to Sherby, and he's going to fall forward for a first down as we are under the 9-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. Back on the, Isaiah Doc Smokehouse scoreboard. Griffith leading Munster 37-20 late in the first half.
And Hanover Central has some backups in as well, so just a good opportunity for everybody all around to get some early season reps.
Sherby hitting the backfield. And he falls forward for a short gain. Cole Lunsford in on the tackle. 2nd down and 10 for Indianapolis Chatard. They will soon turn their focus to Indianapolis Roncalli, who they will meet in Indianapolis next week. This pass dumped out over the middle at the hash marks, and a nice first down pickup there for Russ Hartman.
Pass completed to Hartman on the play.
That's Hayes Shaluge, the quarterback now for Chatard.
Roncalli, another one of those programs in the Indianapolis area, private school that has been just straight dominating the last few years. And that's another 4A foe for both Hanover Central and Chatard. And so it's good that the Chatard is getting that early season matchup with them. to prepare themselves for someone who they could very well see in the postseason themselves.
Sherby, pickup of about a yard. Second down and 9 for the Trojans. Both teams got a lot of backups out there right now. Trying to give everyone an opportunity to experience the excitement of playing football on a Friday night.
Nothing like it.
Sherby, the ball carrier for the Trojans.
It's the good and the bad of the running clock, and you certainly understand it. You don't want to get anybody hurt. It's hard to be out there, when you're getting beat like this. And a lot of times you just want that clock to run and you want to get home, but the disadvantage is it's a lot less playing time that you get your 2s and your 3s, your JV guys out there get a lot less playing time when the clock is running.
It is, and the football season goes by so quick. There's much more preparation. I forgot the percentage. I want to say it's about like 70% preparation for like 30% games. It's like you're practicing all summer. In the winter, you're training, and you get a couple weeks before the season, and then boom, you're right into it with your 10 guaranteed games, and that's it. And so that's 10 guaranteed games for everybody, and so you relish these moments, these opportunities, because Friday nights only happen so often.
Bustamante with the nice catch on the previous play, nice tackle on that last run by Giovanni LaRock. Sets up second and goal for Chatard at the
one of the Cedar Lake police officers has your debit card.
Looks like the 4-yard line.
Please locate the police officer at the east gates to
and we're going to have a penalty here against Chatard, so that's going to march them back to about the 19. 5 minutes to play here in the ball game. In a game like this, also with the running clock, you want to get out of it healthy. You come in, you battle, and then you just want to make sure you get out of it healthy. And Hanover Central wants to make sure they are 100% when they start the conference schedule next week against the Highland Trojans.
Yes, and that's the ultimate goal. And all of Hanover's goals are still in front of them. Conference championship, sectional, and you just take it game by game. And so that's what these non-conference games are for that we talked about. A lot of the schools, they're challenging themselves so they could be prepared moving forward.
I believe you're with me on that broadcast next week at Highland with Hanover Central and Highland.
Yes, we are.
Nice pass and catch there to Max Crummel, and he somehow breaks a few tackles and spins his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Chatard. That touchdown and every touchdown is brought to you by Westland and Bennett. When it's time to finish the drive, make the right call.
Touchdown, Trojans.
And you can just see the excitement, and that's the joy and the magic of Friday nights. As the young man, Max Crummel, he gets his first varsity touchdown.
So another extra point attempt for Pedro Gallardo. He's been perfect so far. His only miss has been that 46-yard field goal attempt. He has yet to miss an extra point on the season. And there is no announcer jinx. He stays perfect. 3:12 to play the ball game. 49-7, Chatard.
Domino's, you can pick 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Let's see how that compares to some other options that are about $6.99. $6.99? $6.99. $6.99? $6.99. Yeah. Order any 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each, only at Domino's.
Graduating high school and starting college is a big milestone. New gadgets, new friends, and a whole new chapter in life. But before you head to campus, there's one important step you shouldn't skip: reviewing your insurance coverage. If you're living away from home, your parents' policy may only cover you partially or not at all. With years of trusted service right here in Schererville, Mackey Insurance Group is committed to keeping you safe and informed, whether you're on the road or planning your next adventure. Call us at 219-440-2021 or visit MackeyINSgroup.com to learn more.
Back inside the Strack and Van Til broadcast booth. It's a Strack and Van Til thing. You are watching the Northwest Crossroads Conference Network, powered by the Jed TV Sports Network. Alongside my partner Isaiah Gransberry, I'm Tim Fedler, and yeah, it's been all Chatard 49-7, but Hanover certainly has some things that they can build on. I obviously had the nice touchdown drive, able to put 7 points on the board against number one ranked team in the state. That's got to, give them something positive to build on. The first drive of the ball game was a nice drive. Had a couple first downs before turning it over. And again, you brought this up a little while ago, and it's something for the coaches to talk about. We move the ball a little bit. If we don't turn the ball over and give them a short field, not saying that Hanover was going to win this game, but who knows what this final score could have looked like, as we're going to have a personal foul face mask against Chatard, so that'll give Hanover an extra 15 yards.
But I must say, Hanover Central probably has one of my favorite jerseys in Northwest Indiana.
Yeah?
Yeah, between them and LaPorte, LaPorte's field and their incorporation of orange is pretty neat. But that baby blue, that North Carolina blue, man, that looks sharp, especially under those Friday night lights.
Yeah, and with the red helmet as well, it's a good contrast. Nice run here on the first down carry by Davion Rivers, the sophomore. But we're going to have a penalty flag from behind, and it's probably going to be a hold or, unfortunately, a block in the back. Officials having a conversation about it here as the clock ticks under 2 minutes. The play in the ball game. And those are always fun message board conversations, whether it's the best game day atmosphere, best stadium, best uniforms, and that blue on blue. And I like the schools that, Griffith has always done this well throughout the years. Hobart does this too. They have all these different combinations when you can go, like Hanover can go blue on red, blue on white, red on white, red on blue. You got 3 or 4 different combinations to play around with. That's always a lot of fun. And, that's always something as a coach that you like to give some decisions back to the players and let the seniors make that decision on what you want to wear.
Yep, and it's an opportunity these players have because of community members most of the time. The Booster Club and the community impact, and that community impact from local businesses is just one of those things that it goes further than a lot of people imagine. And even this broadcast, we have a lot of partners here with Jed TV and now on the NCC network. Is pretty special what the community can do if they come together.
As we're winding down here, under 30 seconds to play, we got to start thinking about the Crowell Companies Insurance Professionals Lantherman Player of the Game, your insurance superhero. As we'll see if Hanover decides to run one more play. The sideline looks like no, as they are getting ready to line up to shake hands in what has been an outstanding showing for Chatard. But, Hanover Central came out in battle today, and there was absolutely no give up in this Wildcats team, Isaiah.
Yes, and they fought hard. This is going to be a game, as we mentioned, 21 points they gave up after that 28-point first quarter Chatard had. But a lot of those mistakes, you take a couple of them away. I think realistically, this was probably like a 14-point game. And so that's just something to think about. And obviously you play these games so you learn. And I'm sure Coach Bartolomeo, who has a great history of coaching, he's going to do a great job in bouncing back from this team. But this is a Chatard team that has a very good chance of hoisting up a trophy at the end of this year.
Tonight's Lanterman player of the game goes to Indianapolis Chatard's outstanding running back, number 4, Daniel Adams, 4 touchdowns today, including the highlight, the 60-yard touchdown run for Daniel Adams there late in the second half. Game changer tonight, and your Lanterman player of the game. Congratulations to Daniel Adams of Indianapolis Chatard. Talk about his performance, Isaiah. What an outstanding back it was to watch him today.
Yes, and he played hard. I mean, he lowered his shoulder when he had to. He outran defenders, and he did just about everything, you know, and that young man, he's going to have a heck of a year coming up. So it's going to be interesting to see how this Chatard team utilizes him as their schedule gets a lot tougher and more teams are going to key on him.
Once again, the final score from Hanover Central High School. Indianapolis Chatard 49, Hanover Central 7. Great job as always to our production team, led by Nick Hedrick. Great shots given to us all night long. Special thank you to Athletic Director Ryan Bridges and Assistant AD Megan Kazmarski for all their hospitality. For my partner Isaiah Gransberry, I'm Tim Fedler. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. as the Jet TV Sports Network goes live from Antran High School for our first ever pre-game tailgate show with Antran and Fort Wayne Lures to follow at 6 p.m. Good night, everybody.